Hi, I am Doreen Shamono, and this is Tech, and so welcome. For the past 3 tutorials, we've been looking at basic concepts of programming. We started with data types, functions, and now we're at arrays. And so I'll just give you a sample case. So imagine you're just creating a game and you want to have your set. Okay, you're making a street poker game or some poker game, and you want to have a set, the deck of cards. Okay, so from the knowledge we have, I think you would have to do this: string, then card one, for example, and call it 5s. This is 5 of spades, and continue doing the same for all the cards if you're storing them for you to use them, right? But this will become very tiring, and as you can see, it's just too much work. So there's something that is called an array, which allows us to store related data in most programming languages of the same data type together. Okay, so you have string card 5s, and so this will be an array. Okay, so this is mostly the symbol of an array. You just have your cards 5s. This 5 of spades, we have 3 of hearts, 2 diamond, what else? Spades, hearts, flower, clubs. Okay, then you can have 6 clubs. Okay, so that is an array. It allows us to group these things together instead of creating string of each, and therefore we can easily access this using their index. Okay, so in programming, mostly we start things with 0. So here we start at 0, 1, 2, 3. So to access this first element, and this is, let's call this array A, or cards. Let's call this array cards. That's not very visible, but anyway. So cards at point 0 will give us 5s. Cards point 1 will give us 3 hearts. So that's basically it. And then we can actually sum them up easily. Okay, we can divide, we can call them easily as compared to having them separately this way. Because here you can iterate. Iterate means go through all the elements, checking if something exists. Okay, so it makes it easier for you to do that. For example, I want anytime I go through and get a value, I remove it. I go through, I get a value, I remove it. Okay, it can be easier to do that in either an array or a vector or just a grouping. Okay, so I can actually say this is not even basically about arrays, but it's about grouping. So whenever you're grouping elements together, it makes it easy for you to manipulate them and work with them as long as they're working to serve us a given purpose. Unlike us creating a string of 5s3, okay, so in the case that we want to remove one, what do we do in this? It will be harder and much more complicated. Unlike here where we just have commands made for such situations. For example, we have pop and push. These are functions that work to add values to the array and to remove values from the array. So you can actually do it dynamically and easily. However, an array, to be specific, not now any other grouping, but an array always has a fixed size. Okay, so mostly in any programming language, whenever you're declaring an array, you will have to explicitly say, if I may use that word, you will have to explicitly say this array has 52 or 54 values in it. So this is 0 to 51. And so for our case here, Since they're cards, it's 52 or 54. You want to play with the jokers or not? So if you do not, then it's 52. Okay, so the fixed value, we don't have to worry about that because we're sure it's 52. Okay, so that's the thing with grouping. Now, if I had this, then it would be hard to even add a value or remove a value when I want to do it dynamically. And first of all, imagine having 54 variables, and that's not even the whole program, it's just this. Okay, so it's just too much work, right? Or at least for me, it is. So, yeah, that is an array. I think I've just talked a little bit about it. So you can pop means removing from the array, and it removes from this end, from the last one. And then push adds to the array. Yeah, so that's it for arrays. Hopefully, please stay with me and let's get through all these tutorials on the concepts of programming and move on further to making great things with programming languages. So take care and let me see you on the next tutorial. Feel free to comment and ask for whatever you would like to learn next. Have a good time. Bye.